Hi and welcome to my channel, my name is Magnus. I don't know if you have seen it, but Checkpoint has just recently updated their website to include some new courses, and they are built on R81.10. So we're just going to check out some topics of what's the difference between R80 and R81.10. So if we go to Checkpoint website, we see here that the training courses has been updated. So the new ones are built on R81.10, and this is regarding CCSA, CCSE, and also the different cloud one. So we have one specific for Azure and one for AVS. And if we scroll down more, we can see that the old core training for CCSA and CCSA still remains the same, and this is regarding R80. And we also see that there are still a bunch of old ones that hasn't been updated to R81.10. So if we go into the CCSA for R81.10, so you see here that the course length remains the same. It's still 3 days and it's still €3,000 or $3,000. And I've already put out the schedule if you want to take it with an official partner. And they have also put what you will learn, what is the pre-requirement, and what you will benefit. And I was thinking that we will check the training datasheet so we can just see the topics that is included in the new certificate compared to the old one. So this is the PDF for the R81.10 CCSA version. And if we scroll down, we can see all the pre-requirements, the audience, and the goals for this course. But we also see the topics. And the main difference here, they are that IoT has been added, site-to-site VPN has been removed, and threat prevention has also been added in. So more or less they have added in a few topics and they have removed a few ones. And you need to check yourself, is this stuff that is useful for me? Is this stuff that I already know? Is this stuff that I work with? I mean, if you have already studied for the R80 version of the CCSA exam, schedule it. Try to take the CCSA before it's too late to write it on the R80 version. If you just started to study for the CCSA, maybe it could be a good idea to check for the R81.10 as well. But the amount of material available for the R81.10 is very scarce. I mean, the first educations for the R81.10 I don't think there has been any courses for it. I don't know how much of the material is updated. I will try to update my course here on YouTube and try to fill in the gaps. But the course I have made here on YouTube is not really 100% based on the course material. It's based on what I think the CCSA level admins should be able to fix themselves, how much knowledge they should have to be able to run a production checkpoint environment. And I honestly thought that the IPS part was part of the CCSA, because when I wrote it in, I don't know, R71, I believe I wrote my CCSA, and then IPS was existing in this. Then it has been removed and added over the last years. But I think it's a great way because IPS is really it should be part of the core infrastructure. You should have IPS more or less everywhere. It has been existing for years, and we need to up the security game in general for all companies or all environments that we are working in. I mean, IPS has been around for, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years. It is better and better. It's a lot easier to actually administrate it. And I think that's also why Checkpoint has added it back. They want to see that even if you only have a CCSA, you still should focus on the threat prevention. You still should focus on the security part. It's not enough to only build rules. You need to have some dynamic security, and IPS is one of the foundation of this one. And in R81, at least I think it's in R81, they added a new way to enable IPS to make it a lot easier. And I think that's why they have added it back into the course as well. And traffic visibility, I don't know if that is regarding the log or the Mitre, or I don't know. I haven't seen the material. I haven't seen the official course book. I like to get my hands on it, but I don't know. It's hard to justify me buying the CCSA course material when I already have certificates that is higher than this. But I will really try to like add some parts here, and hopefully within the partner portal for Checkpoint there are some like IoT labs or user access labs, because it's a bit hard for me to simulate IoT or to actually have a full lab with like Active Directory and so on. Maybe I just need to fix it, but so far I haven't done it. But I still need to emphasize like the R81.10 and R80. Yes, there are it's a major version, but the foundation and the core of Checkpoint has been the same for 10, 15 years. I mean, the GUI has almost looked the same forever. It's similar to Cisco CLI. Yes, they are adding some new stuff. It's very similar. And this is one thing that I really like about Checkpoint. Well, they add new graphical things to make it easier, to make it more dynamic, to have updatable objects and so on. But you recognize yourself even if you start from R65 and all the way to R81.10. You still have the same look and feel. It's just newer. So the stuff that you have learned in the CCSA course built on R80, it's not a waste of time. The foundation of Checkpoint is still the same. The architecture is still the same. But within R81, you can have like a web-based smart console. So you don't need to have a smart console installed on your machine. The web-based smart console is still not up to par with the smart console. It still exists parts where you need to use the smart dashboard. And of course it makes sense for Checkpoint to update the material. It's a new version. There are some new cool features. So it makes sense. So if you scroll down, we can see the exercises that is part of this CCSA course. You still have the configure the security management server, run the web GUI for the first time wizard, install the smart console. So all of this is still the same as the R80 course. And that makes sense. And same here, install the alpha gateway using the network details and the course topology. That's because the CCSA and the CCSE course is depending on each other. At least that's how it was before. So you start with a small lab and then you add more and more functionalities to this lab. So you see the scalability of Checkpoint. And this is really cool. So when you go, for example, from CCSA to CCSE, one of the things that you will do is add high availability management, but you will also do upgrades for your cluster. And this is based on the stuff that you've made before. So it makes sense. So one thing that is new, or at least I think it's new within the material, this is like describe how to use security zones. So R81 or R80 introduced a few new things on how to build security policies. And one of the things that is in the newer policies are security zones. It makes a lot easier to have like an internet object instead of, so you can classify like an external interface to be external zone, and then you can use this external zone within the rule base. So you can create an internet object a lot easier in the rule base. So there are some nice stuff that is new within the R81 and beyond. So I think this could be really funny, and I'm looking forward to update the lab a bit and update the material here on the CCSA course. But same as I did say before, the stuff that you have studied for R80, it's still applicable for R81. And the goal should not be the certificate itself. The goal should be how to use the product, how to be a better administrator, and how to run this in real life. I mean, certificate only gets you into the door. You still need to have the knowledge on how to run the stuff to be able to keep the job and to surpass and also improve and get promotions and go forward within your professional life as well. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.